Before dipping into your paint, you have to get a nice piece of Oasis. I'll tell you why in a moment. Open your tin with a coin and pick up your creation. The next action is really important. Think of yourself as lifting a spoonful of sugar. Hold the wire as you would a spoon. Dip it into the paint up to the twist. If you don't get it to the twist, you won't form a film. That didn't happen. So here we go again. We go back into the paint, making sure you go to the twist. Now remember, you're picking up a spoonful of sugar, and as you can see, what happens is, as you lift it out ever so gently, the paint will take all the excess off, and you're left with a full film of paint. Now here's where your Oasis comes in. Now hold the petal for a moment or two, just to let it dry, just a little bit. Then very gently take your petal across to your Oasis, like so. I'll bring the Oasis in so that you can see what I'm doing. And you don't take your petal into the top, you just take it into the side like that. So that if you have got any excess paint, it won't run. For leaves, I like to use a transparent paint. It gives the appearance of glass. Just as before, hold it into your hand for a moment, letting the film dry. If you touch it at this point, the bubble would break. Very gently get your Oasis. Don't stand the petal upright, just hold it and put it into the side, and then transfer it back onto your surface. Now we can't wait an hour for these to dry, so I'm going to use a petal I made earlier. We're going to take the petal and dip it into the varnish. Although it isn't essential, it will enhance and protect your masterpiece. Although it's a little tedious doing it this way, we have to hold it over the tin to let the excess varnish drop off. We're not using an Oasis at this point because it would spoil it. So if we take the petal when we think we've got all the varnish off that we can get, transfer it into your old piece of polystyrene and let the varnish run down straight into the polystyrene. We're going to leave the varnish to dry here for at least 24 hours, but I'd like to add, not only does the varnish act as a hardener, but it also gives your petals a lovely shine. Here are some petals that I varnished yesterday. They've been painted, they've been hardened, and now they're much easier to work with. It's a matter of individual choice whether you decorate your petals or you leave them in the natural state. On this occasion, I'm going to decorate them with tulip fabric paint. I'm just going to drop on little droplets of pearls. This gives a lovely effect to both petals and jewellery. I'm going to collect all my petals together now, and I'm going to make them into my first flower. Making sure all the petals are pushed tightly into your fingers. Hold the petals at the bottom. They've been hardened and varnished, so here they're quite firm. You can just twist them around at this stage. Just twist your wire. Now I know that doesn't look anything remotely like a flower at the moment, but just put it down. Take a little tiny bunch of stamens, just a few. They don't have to be level at this point, just twist them over, and with a little tiny fine piece of wire, which is quite important, just twist it round as if it was a piece of cotton, so that you can hold the stamens and they won't come undone. Put them down, pick up your flower. Always use your pliers if you're using a strong wire. Then you can start to pull your petals open at this stage until you form a little bud like so, which is making it looking more like a flower now. With your stamens, never try poking your stamens through, because bear in mind, although they look like porcelain, people think they're porcelain, they are a film of paint. So always go into the side of your petals like so, taking the stamens down. Just look at it until you're happy that it looks like your flower. Just anchor the stamens around the stem like so. And we put it down, ready for the next stage, your completed flower. Have a roll of tape handy at this point. You can either use the florist tape, the paper tape, but my preference is always the gutta percha. And the way we use this is cut your required length off. And this is amazing, this tape at the way it is now won't do anything. You have to pull it till it is like a piece of chewing gum. And the more you pull it, the better it will adhere to your leaves and petals. Remember, flowers always come out of a bud, so adhere your tape as near up the petals as you can physically do it. Hold your tape, twist it, keep on twisting it, and it will adhere to itself, and then gently pull out again. If it breaks at this point, it doesn't really matter. Just pull it and put it back on again. Just keep on going till you've gone right down to the end of your stem. Break off the tape, and that then gives you your finished flower. To finish our flower, we need to add our leaves. So we pick up the tape, and as before, we have to pull it, remember, like we did, like the chewing gum, adhere it to the flower, then just pick up a leaf, making sure that the wire is totally covered with the tape, twist and add another leaf. This is one flower then, which is ready and waiting to go on our corsage.